Anyway, welcome to the grand finals of July's monthly Rumble tournament, and on our left side we have Dark Riku as the Apothecary, going for a standard attack first. I'm assuming he's going to go for a second scout, his favorite second scout. Light Toilets going for the Chaos Space Marine. I think he's going to go for at least one more heretic, probably might even get a second, like a third heretic overall. So pretty standard cap orders, one rec, one power node, keeping the options open about when to get their power. Attacks going towards the east side. Light will concur.
Light will concur. Light will agree with darkness.
Yes, that's exactly what will happen.
But Riku maybe not going for that second scout, or maybe even just a little slow on purchasing it. Hardly ever see this map these days. It's not really. People don't really like it. I think it's not even in retail. I don't even think it's in the random rotation for retail ranked, so you don't even see it that much there.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting map insofar that, like, you know, it's obviously very symmetrical, so there's no like inherent imbalance there, but it kind of changes some of the dynamics about how maps are normally played, because the entrances are actually at pretty awkward locations. Like this entrance and this entrance to the map, they don't really lead to the most, like, you know, it's not like Caldera's Refinery. You walk out, everything happens here, everything happens here, and everything happens here.
It's both. It both feels like it's smaller and yet more spread out. I feel like it's wider, but not as long as a map like Caldera's Refinery.
Look at it, it's perfectly square.
So I feel like, yeah, as opposed to the relatively oval shape of Caldera's Refinery. So you kind of have to commit a little bit more to capture things on the sides.
So overall, I think like Mr. Light Toilet over here has done slightly worse out of this opening engagement, in the sense that, like, okay, sure, like his Chaos Lord has forced off the Apothecary, but the Apothecary is near his base, and secondly, like, sure, he's getting off the ground, but the Chaos Lords might have to retreat pretty soon, so you kind of expect to push through.
Yeah, and he's keeping the Chaos Lord on the field just for capturing at this point. It's going to be, but I don't know if he's going to really be able to use him in an engagement, given that it's probably going to be pretty hard to pull off a good kill the week against Riku, especially against Space Marine units.
I agree. And Riku going for the heavy bolter dev, acknowledging that he's really going to struggle to get a lot of activity within the submarine, which I think is fine.
Go ahead. And what I saw is that Light Toilet, he started a Noise Marine squad, and then he immediately switched to Chaos Raptors in response to this Devastator as soon as he saw it.
Yeah, completely the right play, completely just sensible, logical way to go about it. And Light Toilet hacks. Like, how do you get a Devastator so quick? No, not a Devastator, sorry, a Generator just before I kill it. Seriously. Super hacks.
And I think one of the other thing it's interesting that Riku went for that Devastator. It's like very expected often, at least for Space Marines, to often get ASM, and it's usually difficult for Chaos, at least with their squads, to deal with the ASM. But the Chaos Lord right out of the gate is a decent way of at least controlling or scaring off the ASM a little bit. And with Riku getting that Devastator, he's just getting really a lot to actually deal with the Chaos Lord. And the Devastator also, because the Devastator does more damage the closer you get to him, it's not just some more ranged fire, it's also limiting the space that the Chaos Lord can move around in a bit.
So, meanwhile, like, Riku's like second scout has been wasting a lot of time when it could have been capping something. It really should have been capping something, considering that Light Toilet is lagging.
Oh no!
Nope, no, it's just lag. It's just lag. Ew! That would be scary. Anyway,
I think it actually wasn't me this time.
That second scout should have been capping something on the west side, because, you know, when your opponent has sent all of his army to the right hand side, you really need to be doing something to take advantage of that, right? If you're just like there idle, he's just getting so much more done than you are in that time, right? So Riku taking the center, Raptors moving up now, so this heavy bolter dev position is a little bit tenuous, but at the same time does really well to unset up.
Actually doesn't get the suppression from the Raptors, but he is still going to need to get them out of there, since he will definitely bleed models, especially with no support whatsoever. Not just no shotgun support, but no support aside from this Apothecary now chasing back.
noticed that having avoided the suppression meant that Raptors couldn't just join back this this melee brawl that's currently happening. That would have been much more like one-sided had the Raptors been able to join it. But good reaction time from Riku and good decision making to avoid the Raptors really getting a lot of effect.
Still ends up being a winning engagement for Toilailee overall. Going to capture the middle VP and potentially, I thought he might take a generator, but he's actually prioritizing capturing the requisition.
So look at this like really heavy tier 1 strategy that Riku's gone for. Like, I doubt he's going to invest very heavily in war gears, but he has gone very heavy on squads. And if he gets the opportunity, you know, he's finishing off his farm now, but if he gets the opportunity, I am sure that he's going to try to bash this farm, and this is the eventual goal, but it's some ways off yet. He's still got all this map control to secure, and this heavy bolter dev is going to retreat. But yeah, like, Riku is, like, his plan right now is to establish himself in the map control, not lose too much.
Riku's Assault Space Marines out of position. Where were they before that engagement?
They were, actually,
oh no!
Sorry.
Going the wrong direction.
Yeah, like, this heal's coming, but it's a bit too late.
Yeah.
And he drops 2 models at once.
And he might even drop the 3rd model.
I think they're okay. No, that's
Raptors,
so close.
can he target? Yes, he does!
Oh, yeah,
oh god.
I thought he missed the jump. Like, his jump could have been better. But if I were him, I wouldn't have even tried to chase with the Chaos Heretics, because I would rather have secured it through using Speed Worship on the Chaos Raptors. But that, you know, it worked out. It worked out. So suddenly, Riku's gone from being on the front foot to being on, not from the front foot, planning to be on the front foot, to seriously having to be on the back foot, because losing his ASMs. His ASMs were the key to eventually getting this gem bash off, right, with the heavier tier 1. But suddenly he's just got no prospects for that. He's got to get to tier 2 and try to drag out the fight.
So, and he's both spent more, hasn't had as much map control. He's about to get Devastators in a really bad position. Heretics surround it. 2 models off on the Devastator squad.
There's stuff going on all over the map, just in terms of, like, there's the constant capping battle to be concerned about, as well as, like, just oh, he's going for another Assault Marine squad. He is going to go all in on this tier 1 and try to fight himself back into this game by, like, bashing these gens. Well, I have to assume his plan ends with gen bash now, because if he doesn't, he's just going to be hit by, like, actually, it shouldn't be too bad as long as he keeps this Devastator alive, because this is actually the key to making his build work in tier 2, because he can get a last cannon, right? You can get a last cannon in tier 2 and not nullify necessarily, but kind of get himself back in the game. Drops another attack model. I don't know what Riku was thinking in terms of his prospects there. Apothecary is likely going to go down.
He's got a sync kill, so he's taking some time there, and I don't think he's going to make it back on retreat unless he heals right before he goes.
I don't think so.
That might not even be enough.
Yeah, that aspiring champion.
Wow.
I don't know why.
Oh wow! It still doesn't make it. The Chaos Space Marine is just catching up from that heretic worship.
I don't think it was necessary. I know, like, I think he would have gotten them anyway, but at the same time, I mean, I guess it secures it. So good play.
Now we have Assault Space Marines jumping into both ASM and Chaos Space Marines with Eternal War. Not quite a winning fight for them, but they are going to start getting support. So Toilailee jumps the Chaos Raptors back to his army, and then he has all of that Chaos Lord support, as well as some Heretics, and I think one Heretic squad either going around for a flank or just going around for some map control. Probably a bit late for a flank, so probably just map control.
Overall, really, like, oh god, it's still not over. This engagement has been happening on such a large scale, all over the place. Like, the fight was happening in this sort of area, and it was really hard to get it all on the screen. But just overall, considering Riku's precarious position and, like, the fact that the Raptors got their aspiring champion, like, towards the end of the fight, that fight went well for Riku. Like, I think as far as he could have hoped for, like, I think it went as well as he really could have hoped for, considering the squad count and whatnot. But here comes the demon mole, the blood mole for no, Riku has just conceded.
Wow, yeah, I mean,